Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. Live video. A little bit late today. It's 3 p.m., not 3 a.m. I'm in the woods somewhere in Howard, Ohio. We got a campground here. It's right by the river. I don't know if you can see the river or not. Got a campfire going behind me. We got in a good hike this morning, and I'm on my celebrating my wedding anniversary. So I didn't get a chance to do a live video at 10 o'clock this morning, but our hike got finished early, so I decided to run a live video, see if anybody was actually around, do something at a different time. Let's see if YouTube actually notifies anybody. Right now I don't see anybody on, but just for those of you guys tune in, normally I do live videos at Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern, every Saturday, and this is the exception again because we are off in the woods doing some shenanigans. But please check me out. Mark that on your calendar. Come back every Saturday. We did what we do. We did a little baby hike today. Nothing crazy.
We wanted to see if Pongo could walk that far.
Yeah, we got a new dog and we took it out and wanted to see if our dog could handle things. We're actually in a teepee. And we're actually right on a riverbank. We walked down just a little bit, and we're at a waterfall. YouTube hasn't notified anybody that I'm actually on yet, so maybe perhaps I'll just talk to myself for an hour.
Really?
Yeah, YouTube. Oh, YouTube has notified one person, but so I'm gonna stay on. I'm gonna stay on for an hour if YouTube notifies anybody. If not, I'll just talk to myself. So we're in a pretty rural area, in an area of Ohio where there's a lot of Amish folks. And one of the interesting things is we saw a lot of obese individuals drinking with their carts loaded with Mountain Dew and cheesy puffs. Thanks.
What are you doing?
That goes really well over your 17 hats that you have on. I'll be on for about an hour, guys. If you have any questions, just fire them up. YouTube is slow to notify folks, so those of you that are tuning in late, if you're wondering why I'm babbling for 3 minutes, it's because YouTube has notified no one yet. If you do have a question and you're late to the party today, tune back in next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, or hit me up on Instagram, DM at Ben the Barman. Again, normally I do this 10 o'clock Eastern every Saturday, but we're a little bit late today with a live Q&A because it's our wedding anniversary. So you want to come say hi?
Hi.
This is my little sketty. We're celebrating a year together. I'm a lucky man.
Of course you are.
What's going on, Lucas? What's going on, Tom? It's 3 o'clock. We're celebrating our wedding anniversary, and I'm drinking an Imperial Stout. It actually looks nicer out here than it is, but it's absolutely freezing. We got a fire going. We got an Indian teepee. Thanks, Tom.
We have Indian feathers to wear on our head.
Yeah, Indian feathers. I'll probably blow my nose a lot because it's freaking cold out here.
You'll have to not run down your face.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Chad. How's everybody doing? Where's everybody from? If you're new to the channel, never been on a live video before, give me a shout out and let me know where you're from. I'd like to know where everybody's from. Again, if I miss your questions, post them up again. Occasionally on here, John's from Harrisburg. That's not too far away, I don't think. South Florida. Shout out from Portland. Occasionally on here, somebody will say, "What's going on in Seattle?" Somebody will say that I'm ignoring their questions. I never ignore any questions. We got Buffalo, Newfoundland, Alabama, Cody Blair from Ohio. We're in Howard, Ohio right now. We got Michigan. Congrats from Chicago. Westminster, Maryland. Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio. Tom's from Cleveland. We're in Howard. I don't know if you know where Howard is, Tom, but we're in the middle of nowhere. Algeria, North Africa. That might be the first North African viewer that I've ever actually seen on here. So, how's everybody doing? How's the training going? If you have any questions on anything at all, nutrition, training, programming, diet, nutrition, whatever, just fire it up. If you just want to ask me something off topic, I'm up for that as well. Doesn't really matter. It's Q&A's for you guys. So I got a new group over on Facebook called Super Living. It's basically dedicated to complete mental and physical transformation. So I'm starting to deal with a lot more mental stuff and not just lifting stuff. So if you guys have anything in that direction, fire it up as well. If not, if no one asks any questions, I'm just gonna drink beer until it runs out, and hope I can find someplace locally that has a liquor store. Let's see. Lucas says, "What's the purpose of a pin press in a shoulder program?" You know, some people do the pin press. Some people do pin press, bench press variation. Some people do a pin press, overhead press variation. It just has a different feel to it. It's very hard starting a press like that from a lower position. It's generally not right in your groove. It's just a little bit more challenging. Some people like it. I believe it's something you should try once you've built up a good amount of strength already, an intermediate level of strength. If you've not built up an intermediate level of strength, you really have no business trying it, because you just need to get stronger for right now. But the intermediate stage is really where you want to start screwing around, trying some things, playing around, seeing what you like. And it's just a different tool. It's not magical. It's just a different tool. And for some people, it might help bring up their overhead pressing. For some people, they'll just find that it's really rather pointless and they just don't like it. So just a tool. That's really all I can say about that. Ben on Adventures, Defiance, Ohio, and Woohoo Olympic barbell set comes next Friday. Excellent. We got the fire going. We got the little Australian by the fire. We got our own private river, and we got a teepee. How's that for good living? We got a cooler of beer. So let's see. Tom McGovern, eating more veggies and I feel harder. Tom, that's too much information. I assume when you say you feel harder, Tom, you're not talking about the old trouser snake. I think you mean muscular wise. But yeah, I'm glad to see you eat more veggies. I can't preach enough to folks to get your veggie volume in, not just for the micronutrient density, but also, also to stave off hunger, especially if you're somebody that struggles with binge eating or overeating or is trying to lose a little bit of weight or maintain weight. John Mole, hey man, do you have to balance out push exercises with pull exercises in a plan? Do you need to balance push and pull? Here's what I'll say. You have a vertical press and a vertical pull. You have a horizontal press and a horizontal pull. You want to at least have the same amount of pull work as you have push work. If you have more pull work, that's absolutely fine. They have to at least be equal. You really don't want to do more push work, overhead, vertical and horizontal, than you do pull work. The back is a big, beefy muscle group, and in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you want to have at least equal or more pull work in your routine. So I hope that helps a little bit. Matthew Hunter, I sprained my foot last week, so I haven't been able to train lately, but I hope to get back soon. My advice for you, Matthew, is I hope you heal fast. Let it come to you. Don't panic about lost gains and all that kind of stuff. Muscle memory is a real thing. If you feel weak and worn down or whatever because you can't get to the gym as much as you'd like, just chill, take it easy coming back, and just know muscle memory will have you back in full speed in a few weeks. So let's see. Matt Sanders, can you train a body part 3 times a week? Absolutely. Training comes down to, you have three main things you need to think about when it comes to training. You have volume, which is the volume of sets and reps. You have intensity, which is weight relative to your 1 rep max. So 90% of your max is very intense, and 70% of your max is less intense. So you have volume, you have intensity, and you have frequency, how often you train a lift or a body part. So when you train more frequently, you're going to have to pull back on either volume or intensity. If you train less frequency, you can do more volume or more intensity on a daily basis. So I hope that helps. My dog's getting all wound up here. We got her roped down to the picnic table, and she doesn't know what the hell she's doing right now. Tom says, so you don't have to unrack it. That's not the only real reason to do a pin press. That's That's actually just a benefit of doing the pin press, that you don't have to unrack it. Let's see, Ben on Adventure says, is that a campground or reserved area? This is a private location off Airbnb. It's just freaking gorgeous. We were here last year celebrating our wedding, our honeymoon. And there was only one TP. There's two out here right now. But we have this whole campground to ourselves. Absolutely the whole thing. And we have a 5-minute walk to a private waterfall. We can come outside and take a dump if we want to. Not that I did last night, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, this is in Howard, Ohio. If you search for teepee in Howard, Ohio, you can find it. It's about $100 a night. Let's see, Rego Pevgonin. Sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. I'm very weak at pull-ups. Done 4 reps with 20 kilograms added weight, but chin-up is da-da-da. Why is that? If you can do 4 weighted pull-ups with 50 pounds, that's not really weak. That's not weak at all. What I strongly recommend if you're going to do weighted pull-ups is that you get strong in the 10 to 12 to 15 rep range with weight. That is an easier way to progress. You are certainly not weak at all. Most men can't do 4 pull-ups, so the fact that you're doing them with 50 pounds or 20 kilograms or whatever you said it was is very impressive. So the big hairy ugly dude gives you 1 beer up. All right, that's an Imperial Stout.
I think I can maybe just do 4 pull-ups.
Me Bra says, bro, what's your max bench press? First off, I'm not your bro. And second off, if you want to know my max bench press, you got to come train with me so I can see your max bench press. All right, bro. Ben on Adventures, I have another article idea for you I'm going to send over. Would love to hear about it. Send it on over. Sanders Matt says, thank you so much. You're welcome. Just a reminder, guys, I'm going to be on for about an hour. If you have questions, if not, I'm going to jump off. Normally, I'm on Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern every week. This is an exception because we are celebrating our wedding anniversary, and we really got done with our hike a lot quicker than we thought. So I thought I'd jump on a live since I missed it this morning. So Tom says, message to Ben, welcome to the real world. I was on dumbbells until late 2016. Yep. Dumbbells can be fun. You can do a lot of crazy volume with dumbbells, but at the end of the day, it's just, there's a good synergy between barbells and dumbbells, and I like to have access to both. Cody Blair says, my question was above basically how much should I deadlift, how many sets and reps per week? Well, one thing about the deadlift I strongly recommend is that you don't overwork the deadlift. There are a lot of downsides of overworking the deadlift. A lot of people don't have really good form yet. So if you're not certain about your form, it's probably not a good idea to overwork your deadlift. You know, it's hard to give out generic advice when it comes to deadlift. You could certainly drop the weight, drop the intensity on the deadlift, and do a lot of reps. I've done that before. But I don't know, you know, somewhere around 25 reps in a deadlift in one session is a pretty good, pretty good level. 5x5, 3x8, something like that. I mean, that's a reasonable amount unless you really drop the weight. What are you doing over there? Trying to blow something up? She's throwing everything into the fire, I swear. Lucas. If she chokes, I just get to drink her beer. Lucas, going to Vegas in a week. Been cutting for about 8 weeks and lost 10 pounds. Any last minute shredding tips? Nothing you can do really, in a week to shred fat. Fat loss is really about math and calorie deficit. The only thing you could really do is go out every single day and do like a 6-mile hike. You'd blast some serious fat away. Anything short of that is just water decrease. You could restrict carbs. You could restrict calories. You could do all kinds of shenanigans to drop water, but that's not fat. So really your best bet, honestly, is to go hike 6 hours a day and eat about 1,500 calories a day. And between that exercise and that calorie intake, that's about your best combination for dropping rapid fat. unless you want to do cardio in a gym, which is boring AF. James Pierce, do shoulders require a dedicated day as opposed to incorporating overhead work on a push day? Well, it really depends on the scheme of your program. Most of my clients have 2 push days a week, or they alternate between. Basically, my clients alternate between a day that is chest, shoulders, and arms, and a day that is legs and back. So they get a push day in at least 1.5 to 2 times per week. You want to do some overhead pressing on each of those days. I recommend alternating between a barbell and dumbbell press. Seated, standing, it doesn't really matter. Get your volume in. Don't do low rep stuff. I do not believe in that as the holy grail of adding strength at all. And let's see. You can do a shoulder day. It's very enlightening, but it'll teach you a lot. But if you do a dedicated shoulder day, you're going to have to do a barbell and dumbbell press in the same day. I've done that many, many times. After that, I usually do like a lot of side laterals or bulldozer laterals, usually 50 rep sets, something rest pause. I do face pulls and stuff like that, but they bore the living heck out of me. I still kind of do them, but face pulls, we got the smoke blowing in my face now. Face pulls a little bit, they're one of probably my least 5 favorite exercises, but yeah. She does. See, Scott, love your channel. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. Thank you for your support. I'm a true fan now that I know you drink my favorite Imperial Stout. There's 2 things I like on earth, an Imperial Stout and a double IPA. If it doesn't have 8%, you're going to have to force me to drink it. This is North Coast Brewing, Old Rasputin. It's one of my favorite Imperial Stouts. It's just consistent, good quality taste. And, I love to try different Imperial Stouts, Russian Imperial Stouts, but this is just my go-to. It's a great combination of flavor and punch. So, cheers to that. Let's see. Cody Blair, I was doing sets of 1 on deadlifts. Not sure if that's beneficial or not. It can be. A lot of the programming that I advise for people is basically 10 sets by 1 rep every minute on the minute, 8 sets by 2 or 3 every minute on the minute, or 6 sets by 2 or 3 every minute on the minute. So if you're doing 10 singles, that's okay. I would probably consider rotating intensity every other week. Maybe doing 8 by 3 the next week, get a little bit more volume with a little bit lighter weight. You don't have to, but that's simply an idea. Let's see. Nobody. You're never nobody on this channel. You're always somebody. Just remember that. Excuse me. It's cold. Nobody. Do you have any advice for wrist flexibility? I have problems catching the barbell properly on cleans. That's a good question. If you have problems catching, I have problems. There's a lot of things that can cause that. I have problems catching because of the bulk of my arms. I can't get it down. I literally can't. It's just I can't get my hand back to catch, and it's because of the bulk of my forearms and the bulk of my arms, and just the way things are. So, you have to really do a self-analysis and figure out what is causing the issue. Is it true wrist flexibility? Is it obesity related? And I don't know that for you specifically, but there are some guys where that could be an issue. It could be that you have humongous forearms, humongous biceps. You could have some meat up there, which is just preventing it. So it's really hard to say. Wrist flexibility, I used to do some wrist stretches coming in the gym, simple stuff like this for holds, just to get things loose. But I don't know in that case that it would be good for cleans. I'm no expert on Olympic lifts. I wish I was. One thing I would recommend is head over to my Massive Iron group on Facebook and post that question and see if anybody has any suggestions. Before I go any further, guys, just a reminder that I do coaching. Weight loss coaching, obesity coaching. I do hands-on power building coaching, muscle building, strength training. If you want my help, the first month is free, and that's no bullshit. I work with my clients every single day. I'm talking to them every single day. This isn't just a cookie cutter training. So if you're interested, head over to my Instagram at Ben the Barman. Send me a DM. End of commercial. Sanders Matt says creatine. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let's see. STIJN Stinge. Sorry. Can I build muscle while cutting? If you have yet to build a lot of muscle or you're a beginner, you're really pretty fresh in the gym, and you train hard, and you have a slight calorie deficit, there's certainly a chance. You got to make sure you get your protein up. You're eating plenty of protein and increase the odds. The only thing I really tell folks when they ask these questions is that I can't give you a magical answer. I can't give you assurance that you can or can't. But what I always encourage guys to do is focus on the things you can control. Focus on being reasonable with your cutting diet, not doing anything extreme. Focus on busting your ass in the gym for progression or using a reasonable amount of volume. Focus on the things you can control. That's all you can do. The results may come, the results may not come, but either game you're playing, it's a game of time. It always takes time to build muscle. And if you are overweight or you have extra fat, that's a priority. You need to get that stuff off your body. So focus on what you can control, and that's the only thing I can tell you to do. I can't really give you an answer. Frank Pizzo, is Blackstone Labs better than GIFD? You know what? Blackstone Labs is being indicted, and GFID is run by somebody that, I don't really particularly care for. So there are a lot better supplement companies out there, that's for sure. That's all I'm going to say. Let's see, over 50. I love deadlifts from a pin pull style because I have longer legs. How often do you think I should perform deficit deadlifts? I'm not a huge fan of deficit deadlifts. Let's just say that. That doesn't mean people can't do them. That doesn't mean people shouldn't do them. That doesn't mean they aren't beneficial. But honestly, it's like there's 1,000 ways up a mountain. And I don't believe that. That's just not my favorite way up the mountain. I believe that for building deadlift strength, a lot of guys focus on halting deadlifts and deficit deadlifts. And while they certainly can be a benefit, I don't think they're the best way to do them now, or best way to build a deadlift. How often do you think I should perform them? I honestly, if somebody is going to use deficit deadlifts, I think they should probably do them every other week. You should probably do floor pulling or pulling from 3 to 5 inches off the ground one week and do deficits the next week. Or you could do something like deficits one week and sumo from the floor the next. I would rotate. Don't overwork them. I don't want you overstressing the lower back. I see guys doing deficits too often. I see them do halting deficits too often. And if you have really good form, you probably can survive that. But so many guys just are rushing into doing all these deadlift variations before they have mastered the deadlift, before they have great deadlift form. And, it's just a recipe for disaster. All right, let's see what else we got here. Keep the questions coming, guys. Post them up. I got about 35 minutes left. Lucas, North Coast, Eureka, California. Nice little brew house down there. That's one thing about America in this day and age. You can drive 10 feet and you're going to run into a brewery. Not that we would know, but occasionally. Lucas, what's the most underrated burger topping? Lucas, I'm going to tell you, and this has to do with my Australian wife, Fiona.
Yeah.
The most underrated burger topping is beetroot. Beetroot. What's the what's the burger of all burgers in Australia?
The works.
What's on the works?
Egg, bacon, cheese, beef, and then lettuce, tomato, and beetroots.
You don't have avocado up in that mix?
Nah.
All right.
Nah, and barbecue sauce.
You know what I like? I like egg on a burger. I like avocado on a burger.
You have bacon.
Well, bacon's got to go on a burger. But I'm going to tell you, one of the serious offenses on a burger is that people use boring ass cheese. Yeah. We have so many wonderful cheeses out there, with different flavors and, just flavor profiles. And I get really tired of seeing the same boring ass slice of cheese on a burger. And when somebody puts a slice of that American cheese, fake cheese on a burger, they deserve to be slapped. I mean, seriously. Even at fast food places, I mean, for the love of God, get real cheese, charge us 5 extra cents per burger, please. Matthew, is it normal to be better at push-ups than pull-ups? Absolutely. I can do tons of push-ups in different variants, but I struggle to do 5 regular pull-ups. My body weight's about 300. Now, first off, Matthew, anybody that weighs 300 is going to struggle with pull-ups unless they're a freak. But it is absolutely normal to be better at push-ups. In the military, we had to do, I don't know, I think we had to do push-ups for 2 minutes. And guys were just crushing it. If you see shadows flying by, we have a hawk population here of about 500, and they're swooping around constantly. But yeah, pull-ups are very difficult. I made a video several weeks back about some of my regrets in 33 years of training, and one of them is not dedicating more time to pull-ups because, if they're very hard for a lot of people to develop. They simply are. You can get a lot of back strength. You can build a lot of back strength, a lot of row strength, a lot of deadlift strength, but still be awful at pull-ups. Let's see, Stajin. Can I train a body part every day, or will I overtrain? You will not overtrain, and if you want to, it is certainly possible. I did a program back in the day that I called the Drunk Russian, and the name was just arbitrary. It sounded funny. But what I did was I trained body parts 5 days a week, but I only did one exercise each day, typically for 1, 2, or 3 sets. So I might do, if I did heavy squats, it would only be 1 set. If I did moderate bench, I might do 2 or 3. I would change the exercise variations every single day for the body part. So my daily volume was okay, right? But I would change. I wouldn't do a lot of volume per day per body part, and only one exercise. I would just change the exercises. Will you overtrain? No. The biggest thing you need to not do is use the same movement pattern. Don't bench every day. Don't squat every day. Don't deadlift every day. Mix up the movement variations. Mix up the intensities and the rep ranges. So on and so forth. Sorry, it's freezing out here. Let's see what we got next. Keep the questions coming, guys. It's been a great Q&A so far. Tufa. Have very long limbs and small joints. Any suggestions for someone with my build? Building strength the conventional way breaks me down over time. Squats and bench especially. All I can really say is that one of the things everybody, no matter who they are, has to be cognizant of as they move forward is that every body is unique. And you have to be willing to evolve your programming based on this feedback. If the bench press is beating you up, then do a variation. See if first off, is it heavy bench beating you up? Is it your bench form beating you up? Is it your grip width beating you up? Do you need to move from 5 rep sets on bench? Maybe 10 to 12 rep sets feel better for you. Maybe 15 rep sets feel better for you. If not, then move to dumbbell bench press. If that sucks, you got to find some other variation. But that is what training is about for all of us. So regardless of your limb lengths and your joint sizes and stuff like that, we have to be willing to assess things, try new things, and try new variables. That is the holy grail for everybody. So that's something you need to try. Just remember, you can build strength, you can build muscle in different rep ranges. You don't need to use 5 rep sets or 8 rep sets or whatever. You can do crazy stuff. Just get stronger at it. Let's see. The Roo says, what's the temp there? It's going to be down to 22 tonight.
I think it's like -5.
It was snowing during our hike. The sun's actually out now, but it's really windy, so it's cool and windy right now. We got in not the longest of hikes today. It was actually pretty fun, but little chilly, little nipply.
Got a little
The
pointy
Roo says
nipples.
bacon on burger. Yes,
Yes.
it has to be on there. See, over 50 says Gruyere cheese on a burger. Delish. Absolutely. Man, there's so many good cheeses out there that you can slap on a. What's is a smoky Gouda? Smoky Gouda and bacon. Like,
That's what I say to you. Buy me a really nice cheese that I can actually taste and
Yeah.
melts.
smoky Gouda and bacon's a wonderful combination if you like that smoky flavor. So many wonderful combinations out there. So many good cheeses. Let's see, Ben on Adventures. Keep your questions coming, guys. By the way, I got at least another half an hour. My grandma made homemade fresh scalloped potatoes and fresh cut ham for our family gathering tonight. You know what? It's funny you mention that because my mom used to make scalloped potatoes with ham, and they have a little onion in there and a little cheese on top. And I have absolutely not had those, I swear, probably for 30 years. And I had completely forgotten about that dish that she used to make. Do they have scalloped potatoes in Australia?
Scalloped potatoes.
Apparently they don't have scalloped potatoes.
We
in
have
Aus-
scallops.
That's a
which-
seafood.
Which no. Which is a potato this big,
Okay.
and then it's battered, and you get it from the fish and chip shop. It's
No,
called a scallop.
no, we don't. No, ours are different. Sorry.
Okay.
Cody Blair. I didn't know you were in the military. I served in the Navy. Thank you for your service. Yes, I was in the United States Army. Got out in 1994. Was unit supply. It was 76 Yankee at the time. Got out using the GI Bill. Thank you. I got out. I had all kinds of money for the GI Bill, and I squandered it away and never got my degree. Never finished college. But now I'm living the dream, so I can't complain. Can't do a do-over now. Let's see. Broken Bars, happy anniversary. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I hope your weekend is going well. Guys, I'll be on for at least 30 minutes. I'll jump off earlier if there's no questions because I know I got on a kind of a wacky time today. If those of you that are tuning in late and I don't get to your questions, you can send me a question on Instagram at Ben the Barman in the DM, and I try to answer every question. I usually do. Jacob, if you're a teen and you hear popping noises when exercising, is that normal? It depends on what kind of popping noise it is. Like, I was a catcher since I was 8 years old. And ever since I can remember stepping in the gym at age 18, there was some kind of a clicking noise in my knees. It's still there. It's never gotten worse, never gotten any better. A popping noise, on the other hand, you could be hearing like a clicking noise from a joint. It can be normal. It can be abnormal. Sometimes it can be something, a tendon, a ligament, or something like that. But if there's any pain at all, you need to see a doc. If you feel a potential that it might be abnormal, you need to see a doc. Absolutely. Stajin, can you give me a guideline of how much muscle I can gain as a natural lifter? Yes, I can. I have videos about this as well. Search my channel, and I'll give you the breakdown right now, but search my channel. How much muscle can you build naturally? Massive Iron Steve Show. I have a video where I illustrate that with a glass. Basically, the average, and this isn't a rule, this is a reasonable guideline based on what we know scientifically, what we have studied. The average natural, depending on their height and all that kind of good stuff, can gain about 30 to 35 pounds of muscle over the course of their lifetime. Now, somebody's going to come out and say, but I was 116 pounds when I was 16, and I gained like 50 pounds of muscle. No, that wasn't all muscle. That was you getting to a normal adult male body weight and adding more bone and more height and more organs and all that kind of crap. So if you're underweight, it doesn't count. If you're starting at a normal adult male weight, 30 to 35 pounds over the course of your lifetime. Now, let's say this is your 30 to 35 pounds. If you go into the gym the first year and you only gain a few pounds and you're screwing off, you don't know what you're doing. When you come back and you get things optimized, each year you can gain about half of what you have left in your natural potential. So let's say you gain that first year, next year you get half of that, next year you get half of that. It's kind of an inverse relationship. So I hope that helps some. 30 to 35 pounds of muscle is a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I will tell you, most guys never get close. That is the truth. And when they do get close, everybody thinks they are doing something special, if you know what I mean. John, happy anniversary. Just finished today's hike. Thanks, John. Sorry I haven't been in touch much. We went on a hike today for about 3 hours. Got back quicker than we thought, so I thought I'd toss up a live video real quick. Lou, will a lifting belt lead to weaker transverse abdominals? Because been putting off getting one because it seems like a crutch. And you're squatting. Let me see. You're squatting greater than 2 times body weight. At that level, Lou, you need to be careful. You need to seriously consider taking care of your back, your knees, your joints, because that's a pretty good weight. Now, if you're concerned about weak abdominals, the answer really is to make sure you do some work to strengthen everything, strengthen the areas that you're worried about. Fiona's down here kicking stuff around, trying to distract me.
I'm trying to get the dog.
But if you're worried about something getting weak, you really need to take some time each week to strengthen it. There are many world-class powerlifters that use a belt. More of them use a belt than don't, and they're absolutely fine. So just be smart with your training. Laura, best diet for a 47-year-old woman, strongman competitor. Well, Laura, you're a young lady compared to me because I'm 51. But when we're older, the things we can't just think like a 22-year-old. We have to keep our weight sane. We have to maximize our calorie intake. We really need to make sure that we are eating probably 80 to 90% clean each week, that we're getting a lot of micronutrients in, because a woman especially doesn't have a tremendous calorie intake generally. So the food you do take in needs to be a lot of micronutrients. You need to have a lot of vitamins and minerals, real foods, whole foods, vegetables, fruits. And you also need to make sure your protein intake is up there. Women particularly can struggle more than men getting in proper protein intake. For someone that's in strongman, I would generally never go below 100 grams for a woman per day. And that would be my best foundation for you. I would also strongly recommend consistency in diet. Set minimums. Don't go below those minimums. Don't be the person that does 800 calories one day, 1,700 calories the next day. Take your diet seriously. Always hit your minimums. Don't binge eat to make yourself fat or overweight. Eating will help your strength dramatically. It will. But, if you want to go hardcore after strength and you want to get obese or overweight or gain weight as a 47-year-old woman, that's your choice. Just know the health downsides. Extra weight for a woman increases the likelihood of cancer, osteoarthritis, and all kinds of other nasty things. So just be careful and know what you're doing to your own body. Just be educated. Let's see. Keyboard Warrior, thoughts on Eric Bugenhagen? I don't ever watch his channel. I don't really have any thoughts on him. I don't know anything about him, to be honest with you, other than he's a wrestler and has a channel. Let's see. Broken Bars, working as usual. How was the hike? The hike was good, but it went quicker than we thought. We thought we were going to do a 6-mile hike today, and we went to the visitor center, and they said the 6-mile hike here sucks. It's just like walking through the woods. So we did a shorter one. Still we're out like 3 hours. Saw a couple waterfalls
And a dam.
and a dam. Let's see what we got here. Sajin says, thanks for all the information. My pleasure. Glad to help. Keep the questions coming, guys. I'll answer anything, even if it's off topic. I don't care. How to increase grip strength. Okay. Grip strength, you have crush grip. Crush, okay? You have pinch, which could be 1 finger in the thumb, 2 fingers in the thumb, 3 fingers in the thumb. That's pinch. That's crush. And then crush involves static holds, right? Or like a Captain Crush gripper. You can work on grip strength with the grippers. You can work on your static holds by holding a barbell for as long as possible, or holding yourself in a pull-up position as long as possible. You can also work on pinch work, pinching plates with fingers like that. There's so many things you can do, but that's a basic primer. I have videos on this channel about grip strength, so just dial back the sands of time, do a little search, and you should be able to find something. Let's see, Milos, where can we find Alpha Destiny's interview with you? He said, I did a 2.5-hour interview with Alpha Destiny on Sunday, last Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
He said it was going to be coming out soon. So the only thing I encourage you guys to do is just pound his comment section and ask for it. It has a ton of amazing information. He picked my brain dry of every fucking neutrino of meat. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like something I would like to put on DVD, because it has everything I believe in lifting in 2.5 hours. It's just a tremendous interview, and I'm not sure when it's going to come out, but I keep waiting for it. So let's see. Mr. Smith, any experience with Westside training in particular? Westside for skinny bastards, I know of it. I have no personal experience. Westside, I have trained with many, many really strong lifters that have actually trained at Westside. I have experience with Westside. I've messed around with it myself. I know of it. I'm not sure, if you have a specific question on Westside, post it up. I will say that if you're interested in trying it, you really need to make sure you've built up a base of strength. Once you have done that, understand that your exercise rotation should be exercises when you jump into it that you are familiar with or have experience with. You don't want to jump into variations that you've never tried before right out of the gate. So that's just a basic fundamental to start with it. Holy cow, my dog just flipped something down the hill. We have a tire, a rubber tire that she chews on, and she managed to roll it, and it rolled down the hill like a tire, almost into the river. Let's see. Lucas, how many carbs is low carb? That's a very, very good question. And you know what? I've never been asked that before. So props, Lucas. That is a wonderful question. Okay, let me think through this. When you're setting up a basic diet, you want to have, at least 150 grams of protein for a man, probably at least 90 to 100 for a woman. So you set up your protein. A man, they can go up to 180, 200 or whatever. Fat should be about 30% of your diet, 25 to 30% of your diet. And carbs are usually the other variable. So let's say you got a man that takes in 2,500 calories a day, and they're eating about 25% of their calories from protein, and they have 25 to 30% of their calories from fats. I would say low carb is probably under 15%. Under 20 is low carb-ish. Under 15 is probably starting to get more low carb. The super restrictive carb diets really can start to restrict your fruit and veggie intake, which I'm not a fan of. If you're going to restrict carbs, you want to first and foremost restrict flour and sugar and processed crap, empty calories. After that, you want to maybe pull back on your portions of rice and oatmeal. Don't pull back on fruits and veggies, So I'm not really sure if that helps, but it's a very interesting question. Laura says, thank you. You're welcome, Laura. If you have any more questions, just let me know. Jacob, how much protein does a growing teenager need while strength training? Growing teenagers usually have metabolisms that are off the charts, right? So for a growing teenager, like really for somebody that's growing rapidly, I'd probably recommend 160, 180 grams, upwards of 200 grams a day. A little bit over that isn't going to kill you, any big deal. But that's a good target. That's a good target. Let's see. Kevin, Thunderfoot. What's your recommendation for 60-year-old training frequency? Very good question. A lot of this is going to be highly individual, but for a 60-year-old, you probably want to train 2 to 3 times a week, maybe 2.5 to 3.5 times a week. What I typically recommend is I provide a structure for a lot of my clients that has 4 workouts. upper A, upper B, lower B. And you can cycle between these workouts based on how you feel. So without giving generic advice, I'd rather see somebody do a program like this where they're cycling between workouts based on how they actually feel. So that's probably, overall, that's probably the best way to approach it. And I hope that helps a little bit. If you have any more questions, just hit me up with DM on Instagram. Let's see. Broken Bar says anniversary goal. She's over here trying to stay warm by the fire. I'm going to give you guys a tour of the campground before I head off tonight, off this live video. Let's see. Eds. Sup, Massive Iron, is okay. Is it okay to exhaust your being with exercises? Is it okay to exhaust your being with exercises? I'm not really sure of the question. Exhaust your being sounds a lot like pushing yourself to the limit. I don't know if you're talking about physical punishment, so maybe you can clarify the question just a little bit. Tunde, I'm 52, training for 2 years, had pain in joints, but now they pop when I lift weights. Can I continue to work out? Yes, you can continue. You just have to be smart. If you have specific exercises that are causing an issue, maybe you need to change or lower the intensity, or maybe you need to change exercises. I would definitely go see a doctor, though, if it's something that causes pain or irritation. All right, Braden, I usually do that with compound movements. Not sure what you're saying, Braden. Kind of maybe I missed the first part of that statement. Maybe you can clarify. Smith, Iron 704. Can I build muscle with only dumbbells? Absolutely. You can do a lot with only dumbbells. All right, guys, I'm 46 minutes in. I don't have any questions left, so if you guys have any questions, get them up now. Just a reminder, I'm here every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Please come back and tune in. I missed today at 10 a.m. Eastern because I'm celebrating my anniversary. Oops, Braden came back. The comment above the compound comment. I'm not sure what you're referencing. Sorry. Lucas says, what's your main protein source?
It ain't me.
Beer. No, I'm just kidding. What's my main protein source? Eat a lot of eggs. I have my
We eat
protein.
a lot of meats.
Our
like
protein is
meat.
varied. We have Greek yogurt for breakfast in our
Cheeses.
protes. Wait,
Yeah.
Greek yogurt, protein powder,
Yes.
eggs.
Yes.
We have a lot of shrimp, a lot of beef, a lot of chicken,
A lot
pork,
of meats. Yeah.
cheese.
And
Ours is really, really varied.
Yeah. We eat the same sorts of things, but we try to vary it up a little bit.
I would say like we're more varied in a week than most people are, or we're more varied in a day than most people are in a week. It's not on purpose. It's just the way we shake out our diet. We have Greek yogurt, we have protein powder, we have eggs, we have beef, chicken, pork, we have all kinds of things, cheese.
Sometimes we'll chuck a bit of beef, chicken, pork, and shrimp all in together.
Yeah. Gunnets, how to maintain strength while intermittent fasting. Well, here's what I'm going to say. Fasting can take a little bit of adjustment to get used to. So whenever you try a new diet plan that's different from what you are used to, you just have to kind of enter the suck it up zone. You have to really realize that's going to take a few weeks or maybe even a month to get used to what you're doing. So during that time, you're going to have to play a game of sucking it up. If you are trying to build strength and not lose weight on intermittent fasting, you need to eat more. If you are trying to lose weight on intermittent fasting, understand that you're trying to maintain strength while both cutting down to one meal a day and cutting calories. So you got kind of a double-edged sword, and it might be very, very difficult. So focus on what you can control, your gym effort, and I can't really provide you with any magical answers outside of that. I hope that helped a little bit, though. Matthew, do you know any techniques to strengthen your joints for long-term health? The best thing to strengthen your joints for long-term health is not to go like crazy strong for 50 years. build your strength up. And this is going to be controversial for some folks, but if all you ever got to was 225 for 15 on bench, 315 for 10 on squats, 405 for 10 on deadlifts, and you did a lot of reasonable volume to back that up, your joints would be probably pretty good. You know, that you wouldn't be like one of these big power lifters and muscle builders, bodybuilders that beat themselves up. The best way to take care of your body is to get it strong, but not to punish it. And you can punish things when you. What were you sneaking behind the video for? We saw you. You were very ineffective at sneaking. Harold says, "Awesome, finally catch you live on the West Coast. Glad my late start was beneficial, Harold." Milos, I can only do unilateral landmine rows, incline presses, since I work out at home. How harder or easier are they compared to dumbbell counterparts? That's a very good question. For those of you guys that don't know, a landmine is basically you have a barbell buried in a corner and you're pressing like this, right? And it's not an exercise we talk about a lot, but it's an exercise we've done before, right? Right, Paschetti?
Yes.
God.
How do they compare to dumbbells? I don't think they're on the level of dumbbells, but you know what? If you're doing, watch out, Doug. If you're doing a lot of volume on them,
Okay.
you're absolutely fine. So I would consider it a good backup to barbells. Not a replacement for barbells or dumbbells. Eds, after doing physical days work, is it okay to exercise? Yeah, absolutely. I worked as a machinist for a long time and I was exhausted. You just got to make sure you get your food intake up, get plenty of sleep. But the only alternative is not to exercise, and that's not healthy at all. So absolutely,
Your
go
body's
for it.
used to the physical labor anyway. It gets used to it.
Let's see, Darren, how's it going? Going good? We're freezing. John says Steve's nutrition plans are great. Thank you, John. All right, guys, I'm going to take you on a quick tour of what we got going on here. We are at we're in Howard, Ohio. We got our own little river. I got my own little wife. We got a fire
Strike
going.
it out, eyeballs.
Yep. We got a teepee, a secret teepee. And we got Pongo. Where's Pongo?
Pongo.
Pongo's hiding under the cooler guarding the beer.
Yeah, she is.
Pongo's hiding under the cooler guarding the beer. I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you guys watching. Just a reminder, you can head over to my website, superlivingtoday.com. I got all my workout plans, my workout books, my bench press course, my power muscle burn course. Get you a massive iron t-shirt. If you need help, I do exercise form assessment, workout assessments, diet assessments, all the assessments. I'll assess your body fat. I'll tell you if you should bulk or cut. And I offer coaching, a free first month coaching. If you have any questions, add me on Instagram, @BenTheBarman, @BenTheBarman. Slide into my DM, just no dick pics. All right. I'll see you guys next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe to my channel and
Stay super sexy.
stay super sexy. The fate of the world depends on it. I have the best wife ever.